Hello, I'm Core Bishop Don Sawyer, pastor, founder of Our Lady's Maronite Parish Church in Austin, Texas. I want to talk to you about Lent. You know, the term Lent in English means spring. But in our tradition, as Eastern Catholics, Syriac Catholics, Salmo in Syriac and Saum in Arabic means fast. And it's a great fast of the year. There's actually 4 fasts, and we're going to think about Lent. This is a season. It's not a matter of giving up chocolate. It's not a matter of, are we going to kind of make ourselves disciplined? And it's not gloom and doom. It's a matter of turning back to God. I think we forget that. It's a time of renewal, a time of joy. We're getting ready for the resurrection of Christ. And as we go through Lent, realize that the bottom line is that Christ is risen. And the goal of every Christian is that Christ is celebrated his resurrection and that we too will be resurrected with him. We have roses growing inside of the church's chapel, outside. And typical of all roses, in the spring and the fall, they have to be trimmed back and for them to grow better. And the idea, you cut them 2/3 down, so you only have 1/3 of a bush left. But out of that comes beautiful roses, green foliage and leaves, And this is what Lent means, that we have to refocus. We get so caught up with our work, with school. We get caught up with sports. We get caught up with problems, bills, and it goes on. We get caught up what's going on in the country. But we refocus and put our eyes on Christ. It causes us to approach Christ and not giving up, but do more and put our focus on God itself. Lent, calls us to review our own lives and renew our commitment to Christ. It's a time to return to prayer. We have to be faithful about prayer. If you've been away from it, get back to it. It's a time to open your heart and your pocketbook to the poor who are less fortunate. People whom they're all around, maybe older people, to reach out and the idea that people are so moved by the touch that we think about them. It's a time to reach out to sick, shut-ins, by calling, visiting, or writing to them. You know yourself the experience when someone you haven't thought about, they send you a note or they give you a call, how much it means to people. And it's so little thing, it takes so little of our time that we reach out to do for people. It's a time for working harder at being patient, kind, generous, understanding, forgiving of people. I think sometimes Christians, we forget that, we're called on to forgive. And Jesus tells us, you'll be forgiven as much as you forgive others. And we pray the Lord forgive us today our daily bread and forgive our trespasses as we forgive those who sin against us. So when we don't, forgive them, which means we want God not to forgive us that much. It's a time of reconciliation, making peace with family members that we have a rupture with, if possible, and with friends, if possible. It's the time becoming a better listener. How often we take time to listen? I know as Americans, we're always in a rush, but we have to take time, listen. So take time and hear what people are saying. It's a time to make extra efforts to go to church. We have to return to church. Christ, set the banquet at the altar table. And how often do we eat? Are we starved spiritually? And not just Sundays, but during the week. Here we come on Ash Monday. How about the Wednesdays a week? How about the Fridays? And we're called to fast, not just from food, but fasting from sin. We're in the habit of sin, break those things. We're time for us to look scriptures, and hear God and pull close to him. It's all about God. So don't let these distractions of the world, take you away from God. If anything, we don't have control. If anything, let it pull you closer to God. And another way to get closer to God, I like it during Lent, and it may sound weird, go to a cemetery and look through the cemetery, and you'll see all these people, they had lives just as we are having our lives, and they're gone. And it really kind of wakes you up about what life is really about. It's about loving God, doing for people. So have a great Lent, and remember, then we'll see and look at you at Easter. It's all about Jesus. It's all about his resurrection. God bless you. Have a happy Lent.